Home at last. Matt Gadsby was one of the first to take advantage of the trans-Tasman travel bubble, but the journey back wasn't easy.
The lack of information available was alarming.
The permanent resident travelled to New Zealand for his son's second birthday. After 3 months abroad, on Sunday he flew home to Melbourne via Sydney and straight into a political storm.
Claiming that this is an unknown outcome is poor.
People turned up without us knowing.
Who knew what? Hotly contested.
This has been discussed ad nauseum.
In the 2 weeks between it being announced and the first Kiwis arriving, the bubble was twice discussed by the nation's chief medical officers and again between Border Force officials and Victorian health authorities last Friday.
I'm unaware of any objections being raised through any of those discussions and meetings that occurred.
Under the deal, Kiwis can travel quarantine-free to New South Wales and the Northern Territory. But there's nothing to stop them jumping on a domestic flight to another state, which they've done. After touching down in Sydney, 65 New Zealanders have flown to Melbourne, 6 to Hobart, 5 to Adelaide, while 23 have made it to the West Coast. Despite frustrations,
Ultimately, we're in the bubble, whether we like it or not.
Victoria's now updated its official advice. If you're travelling from New Zealand, the website says, then you're able to travel to Victoria and you don't need to quarantine. The same can't be said for the other states where Kiwis will be quarantined on arrival.
All the other states around Australia have been ambushed.
Health-wise, New Zealanders pose very little risk to Australians, but the states feel this travel bubble is undermining their desire to control who can enter. This latest border stoush reflects broader political tensions over the handling of the pandemic, the greatest strain clearly on the relationship between the Commonwealth and Victoria, which has arguably reached its lowest ebb since the COVID outbreak.
There's been a callous indifference by the Victorian government to the loss of jobs in the state.
He's not a leader, he's just a Liberal.
This spat, months in the making. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.